Hey guys, J-Man here for another comic book review, Superman number 2. Okay, if you've been watching my channel at all, you know that Superman is my favorite fictional character, remember that? Of all time, of anything, not just my favorite superhero, but my favorite character. No matter what, I'm gonna buy Superman comics. So even if I don't like them and I get upset and say they suck or rate them poorly, I'm still gonna buy them. But Superman number 1, if you remember, I think I gave it a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10. That's pretty high, considering I have not liked many of the Superman things that have come out. Superman Lost should have been retitled The Audience Lost. Because, well, or Superman did lose. He lost. He lost the audience. That was awful. I'm going to continue it, though, of course. And maybe it'll get better, but we'll see. This one was pretty good. I'm going to review this using my SPACE method, which is story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 for bad, 2 for amazing. When you add up all your scores, you have a final total out of 10. That's your rating for the comic. Most comics get about a 5 or 6 if everything scores a 1. 5 or 6 comic, you know, you read the comic, you're like, that was okay. That's probably all you're going to ever say. You're like, that was okay. 7 or 8, you're like, that was pretty good. So Superman 1 was pretty good. 9 or 10 is like, wow, you know, mind blown, socks blown off, all that. You got to buy this comic, collect it, blah, 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 that kind of a thing. So every rating that I give is in comparison to the comic itself and its peers. So if I give this comic book a 2 out of 2 for art, I'm not saying that the art is better than Alex Ross or that it's equal to like a Neil Adams or Jack Kirby or something. I'm just saying that for this comic, what do you pay for this? For $4.99? For $4.99, how good is the art that you're getting? And that's sort of how we do it. And we're also comparing this to modern Superman comics. It's difficult to do a Superman title and compare it to everything that's ever happened, right? So, I mean, obviously, this is not as good as like All-Star Superman, right? Or some of the great Superman stories. I like The Death of Superman. I thought that was a pretty good story. Obviously, anything Kurt Swan did in the pre-crisis, Silver Bronze, obviously those are awesome because that's the real Superman, right? That's Superman. So it's tough to evaluate these now, but that's the way we're gonna do it. So the storyline here, I'm gonna give this a 1.5 out of 2. I'm in now. First issue got a little bit of a taste of what's going on. Second issue's looking pretty good. Continuing on, pretty good. So if you remember from last time, Superman has, he can hear everybody, super hearing, right? So he's been talking or hearing Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor kind of knows that he can hear him. So he's been talking and he's been listening to Luthor. It's kind of an interesting way to do it. Like they're kind of not communicating because he doesn't hear him, but like, Luthor's kind of telling him what to do. He's like, Superman, do this, do that, so that's kind of interesting. Instead of LexCorp, there's now SuperCorp, which also I thought was actually pretty interesting. And there's so that's that. And then there's a bunch of enemies that don't like Lex Luthor or Superman, so they're running amok, right? So they've created Parasite, and they've kind of mutated Parasite, and Parasite's powers are sort of evolving, and Parasite is multiplying. So that's what's going on here. I'll show you a great page here where there's like just like this a bunch of these guys. So they're just all over the place. So I kind of like this story. It's intriguing. This is a interesting color palette. It's like this pink, this kind of parasite pink. Is that, or parasite purple? Is that a color? But yeah, so pretty good on the story. I'm interested. I'm definitely interested in what's going on. So good, kudos. For the pacing, I'm gonna give the pacing a 1.5 out of 2. I actually thought this was very well paced. Superman Lost, the pacing was atrocious. Okay, I gave it a 0 because it was bloody awful. Okay, this one there's excitement going on. So Superman's trying to hold off these parasites or whatever. They're just not stopping. There's just a shit ton of them. It's like zombies, right? So you get a little bit of action in the beginning. Superman trying to contain everything. Then we go back to the villains, to see what's going on, right? Then we go back to Superman again battling. We got Mercy. This is great. Some great pages here, right? So more battling. And I like this. This felt like you got something out of it. There was some good action. It pushed the story forward too. It didn't feel constipated. I felt that Superman Lost was heavy on constipation. It was really shitty, shitty or not shitty, I guess. But this was done pretty good, pretty good. I think for the artistry, I'm going to give this a 2 out of 2. I'm going to tell you why. So that's a perfect score on art. The reason I'm giving it that is that I like the colors on this, and I just something about the way Superman like is drawn here. I like this Superman. It gives me, I don't want to say Silver Age feel, but a little bit. I don't know why. There's some artists out there who are like, "What is this guy talking about? He's mental." No. I don't know what it is. It feels like it's soft, and it feels like it's inviting. I don't know. It's hard to explain in words, but I'm giving it a 2 out of 2. It's my personal opinion. I'm giving it a perfect score. I don't know. Pages like this are really nice to me. There's a few other really good pages too. Hold on a second. See, look, I'll show you Superman. I just like the way Superman looks there. It's just, I don't know. He looks like he's strong, and I like that. But strong and also kind. By the way, I hate Supergirl's design here. I hope to hell that's not the costume. That's shit. This is shit, okay? Superboy, I don't care about Jonathan Kent, so you can dress him in whatever you want. Yeah. This is really nice colors to me. I really like the colors here. So we're introduced to this. Okay, so yeah, basically, I don't know, is the spoilers? Do you do spoilers for comic books? I guess I won't spoil anything. There's a character that shows up. I just showed you. It's on the cover. Well, it literally says Marilyn Moonlight. Sorry, Marilyn Moonlight. So there's something with that at the end, and there's a little bit of a stinger at the end to get you into the next issue. So I won't spoil that. For characters, I'm gonna give it a 1 because I like Superman. He's my favorite character. I think he's done well here. There's not any other characters. Luthor's interesting. So the villains, we don't really get to know exactly what's going on with the villains. So it's not this comic's fault. They're trying to build up some suspense, but it is what it is. I'm giving you a 1. I like the characters here. So 1 is a pass. I like the characters, but I'm not super dying. I don't care about Mercy really that much. I don't care about this Moonlight woman. Let's see what happens. Maybe I certainly don't care about Jonathan Kent now. Ever since he grew up, he sucks. And Supergirl's costume is trash. I don't understand why they just make it the normal Supergirl. Unless that's not Supergirl. Is that not? Oh no, that is Kara, right? I don't know. There's too many super people. Like, it's ugh. Anyway. For enjoyment factor, where are we at here? We're at 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at a 6 already. So for enjoyment, I'm going to give it 1.5. I liked this comic. I'm going to say I really liked it. I'm not going to say I loved it. So how's that for you? So 1.5, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. 7.5. Yeah, so this got the same grade as the first one. So both issues were equally good. Again, I don't know if this is a limited series or maybe not. I think this is going to be until they reboot it in 5 issues. They've rebooted Superman. This is volume 700. I checked on Wikipedia. This is volume 700 of Superman. There's been 700 Superman number 1s. That's how many there are. But there's been maybe 3 Superman number 50s. It's like, stop rebooting it. I like legacy numbering. I like saying I've got issue number 752 of Superman. It just sounds cool to me. I've got issue 2 and everyone's like, you got issue 2 of Superman? No, I have issue 2 of Superman from 2023. Oh. Anyway, 7.5 out of 10. That's a good score. I would be close to giving this an 8. I could be persuaded to give this an 8 out of 10. Very easily, because it's Superman, and I want to give it higher. I want to give this higher, but I'm trying to dial it down and not get it too pumped up. But this is definitely the superior Superman comic that is out right now. That Jonathan Kent thing is trash. It's canceled. It sucks. Superman Lost, bad. What else came out? Action Comics. I've read Action Comics. I don't even remember what's happening in Action Comics. I really can't remember. I'm not even playing up for the camera. I really don't remember. Tell me in the comments what the hell's going on in Action Comics. Is he still in that war world or whatever? God, that was the worst. That was the most dragged out storyline in the history of storylines. If they did Watchmen, if Watchmen came out today, it would be 52 issues long. Issue 1, The Origin of Rorschach's Mask. Wasn't that like 2 pages? We gotta get the origin of the mask here. People are gonna be like, I don't get the mask. How does it work? Let's have an origin comic. Anyway, I'm rambling on. 7.5 for Superman. I like this comic a lot. It's the best Superman title we have out here. This is probably my favorite DC comic, if that's any consolation. My favorite Marvel comic is Joe Fixit, although I have not read the latest issue, but I'm going to. And my favorite indie comic is everything else. Dawn Attack is awesome. Death Dealer is awesome. Exo Man of War, I just reviewed it. It's amazing. Spawn, Scorched, King Spawn, Gunslinger. Gunslinger and Exo Man of War are probably my favorites. Dawn Attack's pretty awesome too. But yeah, if you like Superman, you probably should be reading this because this is the best Superman content that we're getting right now. Unlike Man and Lois, which they've retitled it. I don't know if this is a scoop or a spoiler. For the rest of season 3 of the formerly titled Superman and Lois, they're now going to just call it Man and Lois because Superman doesn't do anything. He's not in it. At least when they called it Lois and Clark, you understood that, oh, this will probably be more of Lois and Clark than Superman. They did say the New Adventures of Superman, but the first thing you read was Lois and Clark. Even Smallville, right? That show where there's no Superman, right? Red and blue blur. That's the dumbest thing of all time. Anyway, at least they called it Smallville. So you're like, hey, it's Smallville. You probably won't be Superboy because that, John Byrne, I don't like that you erased Superboy, but whatever. So at least this is the only good Superman content that's out right now. So, and it's a 7.5 out of 10. Shitty, I know, but anyways. All right, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on Superman. I know a lot of people like issue 1, and I think a lot of people are going to like issue 2 because it was equally good as issue 1, maybe a bit better. So let me know in the comments. Until next time.